All right, thank you for staying with us. The conversation this morning is, a way of deepening, the talk about governance and, of course, politics, the role it plays, especially when it looks like for an average Nigerian politician, that's all they care about. That's the public perception. And many persons who want to say, can you please do better? Because this is all we are seeing. And alignment, realignment, endorsement flying here and there, even towards 2027. That is still more or less like 2 years away. But then the political bigwigs are aligning. Either is the ruling party at the center, the different parties at the state levels, the opposition, which appears to be getting leaner by the day, and it was, quite maybe no surprise now with what we are seeing, but might be surprising to many persons. First, it was the entire gamut of political structure of the PDP in Delta State that moved into the APC, completely switching allegiance and moving over the line. And then we have seen Governor Umoena of the PDP saying, as far as he's concerned, 2027 is Washiwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we have heard there are many governors that will still come out who will possibly still studying the terrain to know when they will come public. And the opposition is becoming almost non-existent. And Nigerians are worried. Now, that made a particular group, the Big Tent Movement, headed by Party Tomi and people of like minds, to say, we are going to be the opposition, forming a shadow cabinet. And a development which has been frowned upon by the DSS. They've taken him to court, and I think there is a hearing date now, June 25 or so. Yesterday, a particular development emanated from Osun State, in which all the senators, 3 of them from this state, have said they are for Asiwaju. Come 2027, Asiwaju is the poster boy and then the flag bearer of the 2023 election that got him that post. Is there. And maybe, because he hasn't said anything, he might be seeking re-election. They have said they are for him. And so many persons are wondering. And there have been calls, by the way, or there have been rumor or news that even the state governor of Osun State, Demola Adeleke, wanted to join the APC, that he was blocked. The state government has refuted that, but the people on the other side are saying, we know what you did. It's only because we don't want you to come. And that is part of what we are seeing right now. And the question is, maybe it's a matter of time when we Osun State gamut, because when you see the highest level of parliamentarian move unanimously, one would say maybe the Osun State government and the entire Osun PDP is just buying their time. We have, the director of media, publicity of the Osun PDP here with us this morning, Honorable Oladele Bamiji. He's here with us in the studio. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Nice to have you. It's been a while.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, good morning.
But let me start this way. Now, your senators have all, they are still with the PDP, maybe in body, but then they have shown where their allegiance belongs from 2027. Don't you find that unfair on the teeming supporters of the PDP? At the grassroots level, people who worked for them, people who still believe them, and they did that because this is the PDP. Now, they are showing where they truly belong. Are you embarrassed with that development?
Thank you very much, and I say good morning to Nigerians, wherever they are in the world. You see, I will not come here to castigate our senators. There's distinguished individuals, grown-up adults, family men who I believe would have scrutinized whatever they want to say at the time, and that's which they said in terms of supporting the president. There is this popular Yoruba maxim, maybe, which summarizes what I think they are doing there, that you can only help a child look for a job. You cannot help the child to do the job. They are in Abuja, making laws for the country, having conversations with all sorts of, sectors in the polity, including the president and the presidency and all that. Don't forget also that they belong to the demographic this part of the country, the Yoruba nation, which is the western part of the country. So I believe they are, as grown-up men, they are doing all that to do their job. Let me just put it that way. To be able to do their job seamlessly in Abuja, and not actually the position of the party that maybe made them the senators they are today. They also know. And I believe our people will agree with me that it is not as if they have embalmed some foot somewhere. Maybe they have built some votes in the castle that they will give to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. They will still have to come back home and perhaps have to convince their people who are members of our party, basically, members and supporters, sympathizers of our party in the state, to carry out whatever permutations, whatever decisions they think they have taken. So saying that they have they are supporting the president, it's not anything cast in the stone. I'm not sure. They also know.
So you don't see anything against that? You don't see anything wrong in that? But so you are a stakeholder in the PDP. We have three PDP senators from Osun State supporting the president who belongs to the ruling party openly. Are you saying categorically that there is nothing wrong in that? Why should people... my question is this, Mr. Bamiji. PDP is supposed to be an opposition party,
yes,
right? So why should Nigerians take the PDP seriously right now, judging from what is happening? 3 senators from your party, supporting the ruling party at this time. Again, it comes at a time when well-meaning Nigerians, opposition figures are complaining about hardship in the nation. Professor Patutomi just set up a coalition movement, the shadow government, the Big Tent coalition, to critique government policies that are not working, that are not favoring Nigerians, to critique and proffer better solutions. And now the PDP, who's supposed to also be an opposition party, are just tilting towards the president. Look at the statement. Part of the statement, the reasons why your senators supported the president, rather. Now, the senators who said they support the president's transformative infrastructural projects and sound economic policies, which have already begun to yield tangible benefits, most notably the significant reduction in food prices and market improvement in national security, underscore their pride in representing a constituency that stands firmly behind President Tinubu's visionary leadership. For God's sake, coming from opposition leaders, this is quite unfortunate. Don't you see this as a shame,
my brother,
that opposition figures are saying this? When every other person in the opposition are saying things are not working, your senators are supporting the president, saying that his policies are top-notch, are transformative, and you're saying there's nothing wrong in that.
I share your passion. Because the way you are asking your question, I really share your passion. You're a true Nigerian, very young man who wants a change in our country. I share it. But I've told you something when I began this conversation, that yes, they are grown-up adults. You have to read my lips. It's not as if I said what they have done is right. And that is why I said it is not as if they have incubated, they are incubating some food somewhere from their constituency. The party warehouses, wherever they think they belong, in the state especially. Maybe for the intricacies playing out, it is not for me to discuss there. We have internal mechanisms to deal with some issues in our party, which we have activated already. So I will not come here to crucify them openly, but it is not that what they did, I'm not admitting that, I'm not considering that it is right. No, far from it, because our politics is so evolving that you can, no matter how big you are, if you think the people are nothing in the process of what you are doing, you're only deceiving yourself. I watched a clip yesterday, even in Delta State, where we feel that anything goes as you know, as a Niger Delta state, where you have militants and people, ordinary women shutting down former Governor Okowa, you know, which tells you that it is not just a big man decision. Where we are today is not, is going beyond somebody's, you know, standing somewhere and taking decision on behalf of the people. But as a party, it is not also, it will not be proper for us. I'm an image maker of the party now. I begin to come here to tell you that, what Senator this and that had done is not good. If you look at the statement, we have our own way of scrutinizing such statement. Go and read it again. And you will say that it got to a stage, especially the last paragraph, where the statement is personalized to a section of the senatorial district in the state. So that's why I say we know the intricacies panning out. We know what happened already. We have investigated what happened. What happened? You know, it is not for you here.
No, that's why we have you here.
Yes, that's why you know, our senator, they are party members.
Yes.
It is such a matter that if somebody does anything on behalf of my party, especially perhaps in my name, I have to be very careful. I will not quickly go out and say, I'm not part of what the person does or what the person did. You understand? Just go and scrutinize.
But let us call a spade at this point. PDP is supposed to be an opposition party.
That's what I'm saying.
So, and we have senators who are supposed to be opposition senators.
I granted an interview to one of the major newsprints yesterday, newspapers, and this is what I said, that you don't deceive yourself. One of the most delicate states in Nigerian political environment is to deal with is Osun State. You don't take people for granted. You don't dare it.
But the same what your senators did now is taking the people for granted.
And that is what
they are taking the people for granted.
You relax. That's why I told you we have our internal mechanism. We have our own way of dealing with our issues. All right. These senators, you can be sure they will be summoned to clarify their positions, no matter what they think they were doing in terms of perhaps doing their own job, doing their own thing in Abuja. They will have to clarify issues, but that we will not. Such a meeting will not be held here. You understand?
All right.
We'll still have to deal with such a matter because we have a leader. We have structures in our party. We have a leader who is the governor of the state, His Excellency, Governor Ademola Adeleke. He has not come out to take a position. If there is anything close to this, to this matter that the governor had done in the open,
did they even consult the governor before making?
Wait, now I'm landing on a point. The governor made it clearly that he's not going anywhere because maybe where you are driving at is that perhaps the PDP in Osun is also going to the APC. Far from it. Our leader has spoken, and he said he's not going anywhere. In fact, he made it known in Yoruba language. That is what the governor said. And so if other subjects feel that there is something playing out in where they are assigned to, where people voted them to represent them in Abuja, and they feel that they have to do, to do a tricky thing to make their job seamless, they still have to come and explain to us.
All right, let's take it this way, Mr.
We have our ways of dealing with all that.
Now, the three senators, they represent the Osun people.
Yes.
They carry the banner, of the Osun people at the National Assembly. We are talking about Senator Kamaldeen Oyewumi from Osun West, Senator Olubiyi Ajagunla from Osun Central, and of course, Senator Francis Fadamsi Adenigba from Osun East, representing the Ife and Ijesha people. Now, three of them unanimously jumped, in a kind of way. Possibly they've not jumped ship, but they are showing where they belong as far as the 2027 election is concerned. Let me ask you, you are the image maker. Did they consult the party before now?
That is what I'm saying. I will not say they consulted the
You
party.
should say. You are you are director of media.
Yeah,
Did they consult the Osun PDP before this decision?
If you notice, you observe the direction, the direction where I started this conversation. I said perhaps they were doing all that augment or to support whatever they are doing in Abuja. If they had consulted the party, I would not say that. All right.
So what are you saying?
They know.
You are telling us what you are not saying. Honorable Oladele Bamiji, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that they did not consult the party.
Okay.
Which we found as a kind of aberration. But they will also have their own explanation.
All right. As far as that development is concerned, is that the position of the Osun PDP?
Far from it. If it is not the position of our leader, the position of the state governor of the state, it can never be our position.
Let me quickly add this one. Now, you know, there is an adage around here to say, if he steps this way, if he breathes this way, if he dances that way, maybe that thing is the way it is now. You have said there might be intricacies that made them decide that way, and it would be that okay. Now I'm talking about party supremacy. You're a party man. You're a party executive. You make the image of the party, and now with what we are seeing, this development, the election for the gubernatorial positions next year. One would say many things are playing out. Is this a way of trying to... Now, we spoke to a PDP stalwart, that's President Odeyemi, yesterday, and even before yesterday. He has said he's a party man, he supports the PDP, he's all for the PDP. But if the PDP at the national level will bring a northerner, or they will represent Atiku, then he will support an Asiwaju. Now we are seeing Asiwaju support around Osun State. It will not be bad to say we are PDP, but all of us are supporting Asiwaju.
Yeah.
Because many of your men are saying that is where they are headed.
You're already a politician already. You are reprobating and appropriating.
No, I'm not doing that. I only told you what Prince Odeyemi
around the conversation already. You know, we know how we do our things in Nigeria, and you also know. We have. Don't let us deceive ourselves. No matter the party you belong, we've seen our brothers from the other side of the country holding position of authority in this country, and we know how things played out. It is, no matter what Asiwaju does, it will be in the interest of all Yoruba.
Is it tribal politics now?
No, it will
That's
be in the interest of all of us, whom Asiwaju is being called by the name of a Yoruba man, identifying with the name of a Yoruba man, that he succeeds there as the president. And the best thing we can do at times is even to, like what we are doing now, before the 2027 is still far, because as a Christian, I still see as something that is still far. Tomorrow is far, as far as God's decision is.
But for politicians, it's not
for us, if there is anything we can do to support him, in this part of the country.
So this is a tribal position.
It is not that...
No, this is a tribal position, not a political position.
We are in the period of governance, not politics now. People are just...
are you sure?
People are just...
Is this governance?
Wait. People are just...
For Ajagunla, for Senator
2027, we are in 2025, for God's sake. Election has gone.
Yeah.
We are only waiting for another round of election in 2027.
Okay.
We have seen so much hand of God in this country that had played out such that people will begin to wow, a lot of people. Don't let us leave 2027 for God. What we are doing now is governance.
All right.
Either you APC or PDP or whatever you are.
We are living in for God. But Senator Francis Adenigba, Senator Ajagunla, Senator Oyewumi, they are not living in for God. They have made their position. That's why we're interrogating
my
the process.
brother, that is another discussion entirely, and that is why that is why I said we have our own internal mechanism for dealing with all of that. It will be improper. These are distinguished men. Right. It will be improper for me to begin to call a distinguished senator somebody who is old enough to father.
I understand. So that we get it clear, Honorable, what you are saying is this decision of these distinguished senators is not the position of the Osun PDP.
It is never. Right. It is far from it. Daniel. Because the person I work with in the state, we are basically here to look after the well-being of the good people of Osun State. They are making laws for the general well-being of Nigeria over there. And they know how they do their thing. For us here, because that is, whatever I hope the APC themselves or the president himself is smart enough to know that whatever these our senators have said, or any other senator, or any other governor, wherever for that matter, they will say have to come back. They have to go back home and defer to their people. It is not as if they have incarcerated everybody that will vote in 2027 for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Far from it. Especially in these Osun States where people have been wired in such a way that you cannot take them for a ride. But you leave that for the PDP. The party have already activated those lines of structures how we deal with such issues. And I can bet you that these senators will be summoned and they will explain their own perspective on why they have to take such decision without differing or consulting with the party or the leader of the party in the first instance.
All right, Honorable Bamiji, you are representing the PDP. I mean, you're a stakeholder, you're a director of media in the PDP. But for once, I mean, for the sake of this interview, we are interacting here. For once, I want you to just, for you to understand how Nigerians feel, how I feel. So it's not as if I'm just trying to antagonize
I can see the passion too.
So, yeah, the passion. I'm just speaking as an average Nigerian. But for once, Honorable Bamiji, I'd like you to just separate yourself from that position and look at it with the eye of an outsider. Maybe you understand how I feel better. Like I said earlier, the PDP is supposed to be an opposition party. Right now in Nigeria, what is going on? Look at the PDP. When we are having PDP governors, I mean, openly, declaring support for the president, who's in the ruling party, and we have other people in the opposition saying that the nation, the country is not going in the right direction, okay? Economic policies are not working. I mean, it's not trickling down. Forget about the results released by the National Bureau of Statistics and all that. Nigerians are still feeling the pain of hardship. So I want you to look at it as an ordinary Nigerian. The function of the opposition is to speak out. Nigerians are worried that we do not have opposition again in Nigeria. Now we are having 3 PDP senators, senators from your party in the Senate. These are not just ordinary Nigerians. These are powerful men who actually should be working as opposition to speak out and make sure the nation moves forward. But unfortunately, what do we have? They are not supporting it. So my question is this: why should any Nigerian take the PDP serious if we are having your members doing such? Why should Nigerians still see the PDP as a serious opposition party? Why should anyone take the PDP serious?
No, Nigerians are living in Nigeria, and they know what is playing out. Most of these things, even it happened, if it is not within this magnitude, during the last administration of former President Buhari, when you have a new sheriff in town, so many things play out as far as I'm concerned. Aside the sentiment that might have played a major role on the side of our own senators there, but they have their own issues to answer with us, which I will, vehemently refuse to discuss here. They know themselves that because I know where we are or where we were before I got to this place this morning about the issue. They know that now they have cases, and that is why I said maybe you should go and scrutinize that statement and see. Perhaps you have a glimpse of what really played out. You have the statement being personalized at a stage, and you know who really issued that statement. And that is why that's part of our own investigation. If we have not been doing anything to scold them or to do what you think we should do as a party, we will not arrive at what I'm telling you here now. That why should this be? Before we now begin to separate the chiefs from the chair and see that this is what really played out, which is not part of what I should do here as a party man, because it is part of our own process to deal with issues. For us, I mentioned that it is not in it. Maybe because it's been a while we have a Yoruba man as a president. We've had other tribes also holding sway in Nigeria as president of Nigeria, and we used to know, we know what used to play out. We are in a country that is really politically delicate. At times, maybe the more you look, as people will say, the less you see. People, I think it is natural that you want your own man, no matter the color of his party or the name. You want your own person. Also,
sorry to cut in. Sorry to cut in, Honorable Banwiji. Part of the problems we are having in Nigeria is that people, the way they reason, people still vote. I mean, people still make their decisions on tribal lines, on tribal sentiments and religious sentiment. But unfortunately, that should not be happening to a party in the opposition. I get your points that they feel like, oh, since it's a Yoruba man, he was a president. But unfortunately, I mean, you are supposed to be in the opposition. So regardless of whether it's a Yoruba man or not, so because a Yoruba man is there, a fellow Yoruba man is there as president, then you, opposition, you've lost your sense of reasoning. Okay, as a figure in your position, and you've become so cheap to start to reason in the line of tribal sentiment just to support him. What does that say about their character?
It will be said that we are not into politics yet. I will repeat that. If we are giving, PDP is not an everyday kind of political party, especially what we knew about the APC, then, castigate. When we are in governance, look at what we have in the US today. Election had gone, and they all come together to develop their nation. Maybe that is the sentiment, that's the kind of mentality we have in our own party, that, okay, it is not time for politicking yet. Whatever they do, don't let us distract them or something. It is left to them to prove that they have something upstairs. They have something in their manifesto which they read out to Nigeria, which got them into that office as the leader of the country today. You understand? If they now fail, which they are now failing anyway, then it will now become the decision of the generality of Nigerians to take a decision at the appropriate time, which is in 2027. But if you now begin to say that, in fact, one of the typical examples is in Osun State, where the immediate past, the defeated governor, Oyetola, was citing the example of COVID-19 as one of the major bane where he did not perform in office, the HENSAS that came up, and why he did not perform. It is nonsensical. But even at that time, you will not also all over and, appearing like we didn't want him to govern.
So what has happened?
We gave him his rope very long enough to do whatever you think you have in your program for the people of the state. He failed. The APC in Nigeria are now also failed. Don't start painting Nigerians as if they are dummies, as if they don't have a head to think. These are Nigerians that vote. It is political parties, just as far as I'm concerned, a vehicle, a kind of platform.
That's my point exactly. So my worry is this, we're due for a break now, but just before we go on this break, Honorable Bamiji, my point exactly is that the function of opposition is to critique the policies of the government and offer better solutions.
Maybe you don't pick moments where PDP do critique, scrutinize.
No, I'm talking about your representatives now. Those in the Senate are supposed to be doing that.
Forget about this representative. I've told you, I'm sure you are a journalist. You should be able to pick the word from my mouth.
Yeah, I'm speaking to the facts.
Whatever I'm telling you again, that there are some intricacies, momentous. Let me put it that way. Momentous intricacies playing out at the moment. Which one? Not even all the 3 senators now. That's why I said you should go and scrutinize that statement, and you will know where the statement is coming from. In which one of our senators want to really play along to get, people will say use what you have to get what you want. There are some things playing out in their camp, they are in their hollow camp there at the National Assembly, where we are not. What they did does not, bother us as a party in the state.
It may not bother you, but it will bother the people who have confidence in them to represent them. So it is a disrespect and disrespect.
Yes, maybe,
the people they are representing.
Maybe because you are not a politician. We have, when I said we have activated our channels of communication, our channels of dealing with such issue, we explain to the people. We know the blogs of people that support us in the state, and we are explaining in our own way, which you might not be privy to anyway.
Correct.
That what those senators did, this is it. This is what this is why they did it, and all that. It is even when we began this national channel that we know that, okay, this is what really panned out. It is not even all the
And
senators.
you will tell us what panned out, actually, because we are very much interested. The people are asking, you are here, and it will be a bad thing to be picking from hearsay. You are here.
Yes.
You're a party executive. You should tell us. Many questions will still be asked, especially about the scorecard of your administration so far. Stay with us. It's Timon. Thank you for staying with us. We have here with us Oladile Bamiji, the image maker for the Osun PDP. Thank you for being here. Now, continue with the conversation. Many persons, you have already succinctly said, the senators have a case to answer. They should be the one to explain. And of course, the party will do the needful by summoning them to come and explain their position. And according to the statement you released, you said, while everybody has their rights, this is me paraphrasing, the Osun PDP will only look in the direction of the governor for what is next. Now, if the senators have picked a position, does the governor have a choice?
Even our governor.
And to align.
Even our governor, with due respect, we are the
stakeholders of the party in the state, and will take a collective decision together. We cannot take the right away from them as to their individual permutation or decision, but it will be subjected to the collective decision of the party and leaders of the party in the state. Yeah, that is what you said. That's what I'm saying. With the governor, when all his senators are supporting Tinubu, will he have a choice? And then what is the position of the Reps Caucus?
The choice of the party, the choice of the governor, that's what I'm telling you. The choice of the governor is also subject and subjected to what the supporters of the governor are saying. That is the truth.
Governor Adeleke taking a position already?
He took a position a while ago when people were all over him. He has been pressured, and the feedback from the people of Osun State today is that anything APC, they don't have anything to do with it. And that is why the governor had a program recently, last week, so to say, the governor came out plainly that he is not going anywhere. That our governor is
so he won't be supporting Tinubu?
No, he's not a hungry man.
I know, he's not. A governor, no governor is an hungry man. Look at me. Will the governor be supporting President Tinubu?
I will not be picking word from his mouth from here.
Okay.
And he's our leader by virtue of how we structure political or party management in Nigeria. So what I am not sent to say, I will not say it. All right? But if the governor feels that Tinubu is his brother, in quote, as far as the configuration of Nigerian system, if he says that he is supporting Tinubu on the basis of this or that, we might also reason with him. And if people say that, wait till the person put forward by the PDP or any other political party, for that matter, they prefer such a person, or it's preferable, the governor himself might not even have a choice because you have to listen to the people.
All right, Honorable Bamiji. Like you said, that it depends on that the governor will have to consult an coalition. They are no longer taking the PDP serious, and rightfully so. Some of them even said that the PDP has an incurable virus, that the PDP should not be taken serious when it comes to the coalition movement, which is quite clear. And again, Nigerians are beginning to see that the PDP is crumbling gradually. I mean, there are facts to that. What exactly is happening? As an opposition party, yes, PDP, that you are supposed to be the key leader when it comes to opposition in Nigeria. But unfortunately, we are not seeing that in the PDP. And we are seeing your leaders reasoning in the line of, ethnic bias. Should that be so? I mean, it all boils down to how they think, the kind of mindset they have. Saying that, oh, this man is from the South, why can't the PDP work with other opposition parties or even work on your own to put forth at least, okay, someone else from the South? If your reason is that, oh, if we don't have a candidate, since the current president is from the South, let's just support him. For God's sake, you're in opposition. You should have men who can sit down and think and come forth with a candidate to oppose the ruling party, not just just following the bandwagon. As it is now, your members, your leaders are just following the bandwagon. Doesn't mean they can't really think and bring forth, strong reason, put forth a strong candidate, okay, to serve as opposition. Can't your members, can't your leaders sit down, critique the current policies, okay, of the current administration that is failing the nation and give us better solutions, alternative solutions, like what Patu Tommy is doing right now? Why can't we see that in the PDP? Is it all about self-interest? Because as it seems, it's all about self-interest. Individuals in your party are just jumping ship based on their personal interests.
Thank you, my brother. It is even a bad politicking. It is not a good strategy. Revealing your strategy ahead of time to a brutal, no-holds-barred political party like the APC, it is a bad politics and politicking. As far as we are concerned, you don't get too excited when you are dealing with this kind of people, and that is why, as a matured political platform that has paid its dues in Nigerian political system, we don't just jump around. At the end of the day, you begin to see that you are doing nothing.
But that's what you're saying. That's exactly what is happening to your party right now.
I'm talking to the coalition you are talking about. If you are doing something as early as now, and you're already revealing, that is part of what you are seeing playing out. People jumping ship and what you say. If you begin to reveal your strategy to a man like Tinubu that we know from the Southwest here, and he begin to put up the gauntlet and begin to deal with you in earnest. It is a mistake on those who are spearheading the coalition talks and all that, doing whatever they are doing in camera. And I'm not sure that anybody will be serious in Nigeria today. Want to talk about any coalition leaving PDP behind. You understand? And if we have to do that, there are certain things you do behind the camera. It is politics. If you are dealing with, I don't want to be too brutish here. If you are dealing with this kind of element in the APC, there are certain things where we have to engage your thinking cap.
But on Bamiji, the people have to see you as a viable opposition. There
are things you will be doing even behind the camera that people will see, because it is the same people you are engaging. We have our own strategy here when we were in the opposition in Osun State, for instance. It is not, it is like all the noise being made by the APC today on the social media and all that. We don't do our own things like that, and we may not change strategies anytime soon. We have ourselves on the ground and we are moving.
So you are saying there's nothing wrong. You are saying categorically that there's nothing wrong with the PDP. Is that what you're saying? You are denying the fact that there's a problem.
My brother, I want to repeat, there is nothing wrong. Those you think are jumping ship, I can tell you categorically here what the APC is trying to dangle before them, and they fear and all that. Somebody who has held a position, is an executive position, and they are showing him his books, his record books. We have catch you somewhere, and we have catch you somewhere, this and that. The EFCC, the same EFCC, the PDP government of Baba Obasanjo established. to deal with financial corruption in Nigeria has now become a tool of coercion in Nigeria. And that is what you see majorly playing out. And it is even dangerous because where two elephants like that begin to permutate, it is the grass, not fight this time. It is the grass that will suffer. If people are not being held accountable anymore just because they have decided to jump ship into the ruling party, we are in danger in Nigeria, which must not happen, which we will not be part of as far as we are concerned in Osun State. We are accountable to the people. His Excellency is operating an open government, an open governance to the people.
All right.
We don't have to begin to jump ship here and there where you know that you have the trust and the love of the people behind you.
All right. Now, let's look still about the development of the endorsement of the 3 Osun Senators on the platform of the PDP, pitching their time with the president, even when the president is yet to even say, I'm going to contest, at least officially. Now, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Bola Ahmed, former senator, has said it is not enough to praise the president from a distance, for self-serving purposes. These were his words. It is not enough to praise the president from a distance for self-serving purposes, but should only align fully with the progressive family at the national and state levels to cement the endorsement of the president. Now, pitching your tent with the APC will help bring the needed development to Osun APC-led state government when inaugurated in 2026. His words still, in key sectors such as infrastructure, education, agriculture, sustainable economy, healthcare, it will also help end the underperformance and maladministration currently witnessed under the deceptive administration of Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The words of the SRJ there to say, guys, whatever your reasons are self-serving, these were his words, you should just come to the APC. Are you not smelling trouble?
There's no trouble. SRJ, Ajibola,
you might end up losing your 3 senators.
Ajibola, we are not losing them. And I can tell you for free here, we are not losing them. If they go to the APC, even if we are not a politician, if they go to the APC today, from Osun Central, for instance, where would Banik, this SRJ himself, where would they go? They will dash their the ticket which they are targeting now. Where they will dash it to our senator, the current, the incumbent senator. It is dicey for them. And even if they dash him the ticket, will the people that will vote for him trust the APC? Ajibola Ahmed is a rabble-rouser. You know him anytime. He's already playing around with the statement of these senators. And that is why I said they are in Abuja together. And that's why I think he called it self-serving. They know what they are doing with themselves here, not here, where people of Osun State are ready for them, for anyone. They are ready for us. They are ready for the APC. And I can tell you for free here that the people of Osun State trust Senator Ademola Adeleke.
He said you are underperforming and he calls the administration maladministration. And that's why he's calling those senators to help remove you people.
Are they afraid? What are they? If they,
no, that's why I'm saying you should be the one afraid, isn't it?
If they are man enough, they should not even be looking for any helpmate anywhere to help them win a subsequent election. They failed in 2022. And failed again. You
don't think there is a grand plan with these senators to remove your principal?
No, not our senators. I can tell you for that. I can tell you for free. I know. I repeat myself here that we know already what really played out, and we are dealing with that aspect of it. As far as if Bashiru is expecting our senators to decamp to them, it's only the dreaming. As far as we are concerned,
you won't lose them.
No.
You trust politicians that much?
No, politicians with established background. Okay. Senator Leroy Akogun is not a small fish in the ocean of Nigerian politics. Same thing goes to Baba, grandfather, Father Hansi. what will he be saying?
The same way you are saying they cannot do that is the same way they have endorsed the president without letting
I'm telling you for free they cannot do it.
All right, so
I'm insisting that they cannot do it.
They cannot do it.
When it
happens, we will call you to
call me back here,
and I hope
I will answer
you won't decline.
I will answer you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Bamiji.
And I know where we are in terms of our discussion so far.
Yes. So far, Honorable Bamiji, we've been talking about politics and politicking, about your senators betraying the trust of the people by just making decisions without consulting them or consulting the party structure or even consulting the governor. Now, away from politics, let's talk about governance. Where does this leave the people of Osun State? It is becoming increasingly clear that politicians are just self-serving. They make their decisions based on selfish interests, and that is exactly what is playing out right now. There's a video that surfaced on X where politicians in Osun State were having a meeting, and one of them was saying that it is quite clear that since Tinubu came into power, that no rep member has received less than #1 billion for constituency project. That before now it used to be around 200 million naira. But since Tinubu came in, no rep member has received less than #1 billion naira. I wish our producers can put that video up right now. That no rep member has received less than #1 billion naira for constituency projects. He's saying it openly that you can check him, you can quote him anywhere. And no senator has received less than $2 billion for constituency projects. He said there are 9 rep members in Osun State. They've been receiving that funds, that they cannot deny it. I even mentioned Wale Oke, that is now in their fold, that they can't deny it, and even the senators too. Now, these party people who have been in your party before now, receiving all these funds, how has it trickled down to the people? Now they are supporting Mr. President, apparently because, of course, according to him, the president has been so magnanimous to them, increase their allocation and all that, so they are tilting towards him. How does it affect the people of Osun State? What have they done with all those monies? What improvement have we seen? Okay, so we are talking about governance now, not politics.
Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother. Don't let us beat this too much. I believe you are a very informed journalist, and you know how things pan out as far as fiscal budgeting and all that is concerned. That statement, if you have followed up critically, you will know that that person, the man who made that statement, had practically withdrawn it, telling the people, because it's a man that has been hanging around the National Assembly, he should know how these things work. The 1 billion, 2 billion naira you are talking about is not, and not in capital letters here, being given in cash to the lawmakers. A letter, it's an erroneous impression that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had increased the allocation. It is not allocation. That money is projected for some constituency projects, and not that the president is dashing 1 billion, 2 billion naira around for the lawmakers to just do anyhow, whatever they like with it. No, far from it. It is projected, and even when, as we speak, the president had not started, the presidency or the executive arm of the government had not even started to implement that aspect of the budget as we speak. Whatever is being implemented, if you see any senator or rep doing anything at all, it's basically on the past fiscal budget. So it is, and even when they start to implement the budget, it is not as if they will now dole out the cash to the rep member or to the senators. Those projects are domiciled in MDAs, ministries and parastatals, where have you. They are the ones to see to the execution. The only bragging right these lawmakers have is to nominate the project sites within their constituency or senatorial district, as the case may be, for execution. This is the road I want you to tar. It's a matter of priority for my people. This is the ball I want you to sink for my people. This is the electrification I want you to embark upon for my people. That is the only thing. They are deemed to be those who understand what the need of their people, so to say. So it is not as if the federal government will not just dole out the 1 billion to them.
But they have access to it.
They don't have access to it. I'm telling you.
How do you mean? If they don't have access to it, how then can they execute those projects you're talking about?
They can only follow up the project through through any ministry or MDAs that is in charge.
So who controls the constituency project funds? Who controls it?
It is the federal government. Not
no, after they release it, who controls it? The expenditure.
That's what I'm saying. It is never released. Let us say it in a layman's language. It is never released to the account. Because that is the last this thing. Such money is never released to the personal account of the lawmakers. It is the MDAs in which those projects are domiciled.
Yeah, but the lawmakers determine what is done with those funds.
Yes, they determine the location of the projects they want to do for their people and monitor it.
And they award contracts as well.
Award contracts as well.
To those who execute
it is the ministry that will award the contract. It is see, the person making that statement, let me tell you here, is also a politician.
Absolutely.
Somebody who is also high in the seat of the federal constituency. So he needs to say that when he came, when he visited his Ejigbo home, once in a blue moon as he used to do, he needed to say something as somebody who is in the know of what is going on in Nigeria.
All right.
He has to paint himself as a big man to them. This is what is going on. Go and ask he knows, he should know that it is not within the caprices of the lawmakers to have those
you're talking about your daily
such cash in their pocket. No.
Daily David Ashalu.
Yes.
All right. And by the way, that has generated conversations, and it has made many of these lawmakers to come out with a position.
Yes.
Because the thing is, even if they don't have a big even if they don't have access to it, the cash, many of their constituents doesn't know that they have such a fund somewhere that could help them, and it speaks to transparency.
Let me quickly have this.
But we have a break.
They may not know because even the federal government,
many of these representatives to come up with a statement in which normally they will not do.
Many of these lawmakers, right? Many of these projects will eventually not be done. This federal government had not been seen to have performed in terms of fiscal budget to the tune of 100%.
We must go. The
one they did last is 70%.
We must go on this break. But by the way, so that speaks to where we started from. If the government of the day has not been sincere, according to you, if they have not been doing well with their budget performance, so what is the catch? Why politicians are rushing towards the same person at the end of affairs? So many questions to ask. We take it home after now. Stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. This is the home stretch right now. And I'd like to ask you, Mr. Bamiji, now, this is 2025. By November 27, your principal and the government of the day will have been 3 years in office. Just 5 months or 6 months away now. And by next year, it will be time for election. What will you call the scorecard of your administration, knowing fully well, and in fact, many persons have been saying that, politically inclined persons have been saying that there is more money. Everybody knows now. And what have you been able to do, since where you are coming from to where you are right now, tangible things that the Osun people can see. If you can do that in 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Verifiable ones.
Yes, verifiable. You are, thank God you are in Osogbo here. You are not in any other part of the state. You can see the verifiable thing. Even here, up to this station, I have not been here for a while. And when I was coming, I could speed up to 120 kilometers per hour because the road leading to this place has been tarred. It's part of the verifiable thing the governor has done. Even from here, down there, you can see what is being done to ease the traffic congestion coming from this axis into emptying into Osogbo, the Lameko bridge here that is being done. Up next few kilometers again, you see the 10-span flyover being done at Okefia there. That is That is on the infra plan, infra project of His Excellency. And as of today, there is no local government. And I'm not even, without fear of being controverted, there's no local government that has not had the impact as far as road construction or rehabilitation is concerned. There's no local government you will get to today without seeing the hands of His Excellency doing one thing or the other on those road projects.
But Wale Oke has said otherwise.
You will say otherwise because
and he's the landlord of the area, according to him.
The landlord, we will get to know that when we get to that bridge.
Okay, go ahead.
So because Wale Oke's case is another thing entirely, which I believe we can discuss another day. That place, two local government, federal House of Representatives should have made that place a small London, in which even the state government will have nothing much to bother about under normal circumstances. I haven't been able to represent that axis of the state for going to 20 years now. He's an emperor now at the National Assembly, and he should have been able to facilitate road projects that have been there for years, which his current friends refused to have a look in and repair those roads. All right. So if he has not been able to do all that while he was there, I'm not sure he has any tangible reason to begin to criticize the state government has been doing a lot.
All right.
To construct those roads on health. You know what we have done. Over 200 health centers, primary health centers, have been rehabilitated to World Health Organization standard across the state. The state was even rewarded for it. Over $500,000 was given to the state for that feat. Look at the pensioner, the well-being of our fathers and mothers who have served this state diligently with their care.
So sorry to cut in on Bamiji. That project, the health center, started with the former administration, not with your administration. They did about 97% of that job.
He called it verifiable project.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
When they were there,
they did 97%.
Maybe by your own estimation. If they have done anything, this government.
We had the conversation here. The Honorable Commissioner for Information was live on the show when I was giving him the facts that project started with the APC and they did 97%. Don't get me wrong, I'm not supporting the former administration.
They had $20 million then.
Now.
They have $20 million largesse from the World Bank also to do that project. They failed woefully on it. And that is why when this government came, that it is inhuman to have such chunk of money and you wasted it. If they have done anything, you don't, Governor Ademola Adeleke will not waste people's funds. If there's been anything tangible done on those projects, it will not come back again and begin to do it all over again.
Are you saying the APC didn't do anything?
They didn't do it. Emphatically, I'm saying this, especially on that health centers. They didn't do anything. What the best they did was to repaint some of these structures. Painting. What the project, the funds was meant for was to rehabilitate those health centers.
So they didn't do that.
It.
So they didn't do that.
No power supply. If you go to these health centers today, go and check.
Is that the reality? Is just politics.
It is not just politics.
Is that why? Sorry. Is that why? Hold on, sir. Is that why? Because there has been an allegation that these things were done, and the plaque of the founder of the administration in power there were there at all of these centers. Is that the reason why your administration has been removing the plaque of those who did it in the past and putting him on a plaque? We
are talking of complete rehabilitation.
I'm just saying, did you do that? Why did you do that?
If any plaque, anything, roofing or anything falls within what should be removed to achieve a complete rehabilitation.
So if this project was commissioned by Governor Oyetola was removed and is now, what you now have is commissioned or done by Governor Adeleke, is that fair?
Maybe interpretation of rehabilitation. Maybe it's different.
This is not rehabilitation.
You want to make health.
When a project is commissioned, there will be a plaque about who did it, who commissioned it. Now we learned these things are being removed and replaced with that of the administration. Would that be fair?
Don't let us begin to have give a kind of subtle support to nonsensical no.
We are talking to fact. Just as my colleague
everybody, including us.
Did you do that?
Government.
That's the question. Did you do that?
If that's why I made it clear now. If any plaque or whatever, not just a plaque, if any plaque or whatever falls within what must be, if a wall have to be scrapped, if a wall have to be brought down. For proper rehabilitation, you are talking of plaque for that, for God's sake.
All right,
we are talking of what matters to the life of the people of the state.
Means.
You are talking of ordinary plaque.
You know what that means? It means this thing was done by this administration, and if you have to replace it better and let it remain there.
Maybe you could have.
You are ripping off. That's what it means.
I don't want to accuse your this thing. Of lack of action, because you have your cameras, because you are also enlightened. We know what is good for our people in year 2025 and beyond. You understand? You should have verified.
That is not my duty. That is your duty.
No, you should have verified what we had on ground before now.
Away from that, talking about the scorecard of your principle, you talked about roads. Unfortunately, Honorable, we are in 2025. When I hear politicians, talk about the fact that they built roads, I feel embarrassed because these are basic amenities. Leaders and politicians shouldn't be bragging about roads, for God's sake. What have they been doing with all the funds they've been getting all these years? Why are we still talking about roads? Roads in 2025, these are basic amenities. Not to talk of other sectors. Power. Okay, you said you can see that even right here in this community, you saw the road. The other day I made mention of the power situation in this community. It's not just bad. I say again, it's abysmal. It's terrible. In 2025, I've never experienced this in a very long, apart from when I was still little growing up in Lagos. Apart from that, I moved to Bande, still in Lagos, where I enjoy power supply for almost 24 hours every day. But when we have basic amenities like road, like power supply, here, for instance, take this community, you talked about the roads, in this same community, what is the power situation? What is the situation of power supply?
You are talking
it is terrible. No, let me land. So I'm just trying to give you, I'm giving you facts.
I'm always checking your time. That's why I don't want us to waste time about it.
I'm giving you the facts now, that the power supply situation is abysmal. It's terrible. What's your government doing about that? And apart from that, finally, I would like to respond. I'm sorry, I'll let you respond to that. So apart from these basic things that should be provided, to the people, and we shouldn't really, we don't have to be applauding you, that these are basic things. What other developmental projects has your administration embarked upon that are verifiable, that people can say, oh, this is what you've done differently apart from what we've seen in the past? Yes,
I'm surprised, appalled, and taken aback at the same time that you called road mere it's a small thing that we should not play.
Yes, I feel embarrassed because we shouldn't be talking about roads at this time.
But what if the government had failed to do it, just like in the past? Because if I don't know how we not count road as part of the major development. If when I used to come here, I know how this place looked like. Assessing your station here. But I can just, from that junction there, I can just rush down here, even if I'm walking behind time. You understand? You think that it is not something you can.
My point is, it has been the failure of past leaders. It's a basic thing they should have provided.
You take things sector by sector. If you won't praise the governor for doing the roads, I'm not sure you are also ready to look to see other things he's been doing. All right. If there are other things more to be done in other sectors, I agree. If anybody spend no matter how many numbers of years in government, there will still be work to be done. This power supply you talk about is an exclusive thing to the federal government before the state are now being allowed to come in, in which you know that there are a lot of processes to be done to get some of these permission to do this or to do that. The government is coming up with a robust approach as far as the power sector is concerned. But you will not because this area, this community is bad as far as electricity supply is concerned, and so other things the governor is doing as just mere
that's why I wanted you to speak to other development projects. I want you to speak to them.
I know the well-being of our fathers and mothers before now, especially those who are in the public sector. I know what they used to pass through, and now what they are passing, what they are enjoying in terms of their old age. Their pensions being paid. All of them today, if you are retiring in Osun State, if you have anyone close to you, go and ask. They are enjoying free health care, medical care in Osun State as we speak. It is not what we used to have. They can access. They can access free health care anywhere, not just in Osun State, anywhere in Nigeria today. If they are in Sokoto, they can just walk into any
region of Osun State.
Yes, any retiree. Yes.
Oh, you've given me an assignment. We will verify.
Go and verify with any pensioner you have in Osun State.
We must go now. We must go.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to speak with you. And we wish
this time is not obvious
enough. And then
maybe we'll have a rematch.
Possibly we are waiting.
This is your own.
Possibly when we have, Honorable, possibly when we have a new development, maybe when you are moving to the APC or that party.
God forbid bad thing.
Really?
I reject it in Jesus' name.
You are on record.
Yes, please, you can double record it.
Senior special assistant.
We don't have to be jumping here and there to serve our people, no.
On media, and of course the director of media for the Osun APC as well. Good morning. Thank you. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me today.
All right. And Femi Oje is my name. We will have you tomorrow on this program. And of course, with my colleague and everyone. Big shout out to everyone that has been a part of this program. Let's do what is right at all times. And please, in everything that you do, please stay alive. God bless Nigeria. I promised you that I was going to drop a throwback picture, but that would not be good enough. Not today. Maybe next week.
No, absolutely. Emeka Daniel is my name. Thank you once again for joining us. We do not take you for granted. Don't forget to join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Emeka Daniel is my name. Good morning.